everybody, it's Melissa, and it's about that time of the year again where I tell y'all that just because something is expensive doesn't mean you're gonna get compliments fragrance-wise, all right? Because recently I had a conversation with somebody that I know in person that was looking for fragrance recommendations, and he was like, I want something more expensive. Because he's had, some Versace's, had some, what's the other one? Some Azzaros, things like that, right? And I was like, okay, what are you going for? Smell-wise, and vibe-wise, right? Because those are the main things. You want it to be something that kind of fits your vibe a little bit, and something that, like, if it's fresh and clean, sweet and sexy, no matter what that is, right? And he was like, that doesn't matter. It just has to be really high-end and expensive. And I had to tell that guy, I was like, you do know that just because something is expensive, that doesn't mean you're gonna get compliments. And he was kind of taken aback. He was quiet for a few seconds. And then he was like, well, yeah, I know that. I just really want it for the brand. I want the brand recognition so that I'm wearing something with status, right? He didn't say that last part, but then he did say that, I just want that brand, an expensive brand. And it's just one of those things, y'all, that these are the type of people that if they were to buy something that's like a Creed, right? They don't get compliments on it. These are the same type of people that are gonna complain to me and be like, your recommendations aren't true. You're lying. I bought this fragrance. Now I wasted $400. I haven't gotten a single compliment on my Creed Aventus. And it's like, I've told you all this a lot of times. And the thing is, majority of people already know this, right? But for some reason, the people that are always seeking for validation with these status symbol sort of fragrances, they're the ones that are really confused out here, because you're not carrying the bottle with you wherever you go. When you're wearing those scents, it's the way you wear them. It's how you carry yourself, right? No one is seeing that you dropped a $400 fragrance when you walk by or when you're having a conversation with someone, unless they might be a fragrance enthusiast or just, somebody that's into fragrances and they're like, okay, that person is wearing Creed Aventus or Aventus for her, right? Then that, they might register that. Or Baccarat Rouge is another popular one that I smelled recently as well, right? And people, they don't know that sort of stuff, right? And these are the same people that will get mad when they're out with their friend that's wearing something like Legend Spirit by Mont Blanc, and this person's getting compliments on their fragrance, and they ask them what it is. They see it's a $40 scent, and by the way, I think I got this one for $30, so the 100 ml. And then they'll just be absolutely flabbergasted, and then just mad that they blind bought that sort of stuff. So please don't fall into that trap. And the thing is, to be real with y'all, Creed to me is, they have decent fragrances, but what I've noticed is the people that talk to me about wanting Creed or that wear Creed, it's never from a place that they're like, oh, I love Creed fragrances. It's what they think the brand does for them when they wear it, and I get it, right? You're allowed to indulge in luxurious things and whatever makes you happy, but there always is sort of that underlying sort of factor to it that people are looking for others to think that they have a lot of money or that they're rich or something like that. And if no one comments on their fragrance, then they get butthurt about it, right? So again, it kind of ties back into what I told y'all about, you wear what makes you happy, and you wear a scent that you like. That's bottom line there. But fragrance enthusiasts, at least the ones that I've met and that I've known, and the ones that are even y'all that are in my comment section 24/7, I hardly hear people in this niche that are utterly in love with Creed fragrances. I think that the love for Creed, and I'm just using Creed as an example here, and by the way, I'm not shitting on the brand. I think that they have great scents. Silver Mountain Water is one of my favorites from them. I do love Aventus for her and Aventus Cologne. But I've noticed that people really into it don't really care as much for Creed. They have a couple that they pick out, whether it's Love in White or Green Irish Tweed, that they're like, oh yeah, these absolute bangers. But the people that have been reaching out to me and that have talked to me in person, that are really trying to get into it, or that wear the fragrances, are wanting it because, their favorite rapper or their favorite athlete, they saw an interview that they're like, oh, yeah, I wear like Creed Aventus, or I wear Baccarat Rouge by MFK. So they are trying to emulate that person's status by wearing, you know, a fragrance because it's the most affordable thing that they can buy that will kind of attach them to that person. When I say affordable thing, it's like, of course, your average person isn't going to be dropping money on like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini like Ronaldo or Messi, right? They're like, and also with the kind of clothes they wear, there's shirts they're wearing, they're like $1,200, right? So if you see something that's like a $300 fragrance, $300 versus like $1 million car or $2,000 pants is more affordable. And that's kind of what, like just kind of a side note, with designer brands like YSL and Dior and Chanel, their fragrances are the cash cows of that brand because they've realized that a lot of people can't really be buying their bags and their clothes and their belts. So they came up with fragrances that are ranged from like $70 to $150 so that people feel like they have achieved their status by owning one of their fragrances, right? So like the average person can be like, oh yeah, I do have YSL. I have like their fragrance. I do have Dior. I have their scents, like their perfumes, you know? So it makes it more accessible for people to kind of feel, I've been using the word status a lot, but I hope that y'all kind of understand where I'm coming from with that. All right. So the smell of these things, to me, I can smell when something is a bit more high quality versus other things, right? But in terms of compliment factor and mass appeal, like the price range literally does not matter for that when it comes to fragrances, because there are things in this game that are upwards of $2,000 that to me smell like horseshit, right? And to other people, like it's one of those things that if you didn't see the price tag, you'd be like, that smells nasty. But if you see the price tag, you're like, wow, it's because of, it has the most luxurious oud. That's the rarest in the world. That's why it's so beautiful to smell. Like, you know, they just kind of, that bias comes into play where you try to justify in your head why it costs that much. And I get it, right? But just keeping it real with y'all, which is something that I've been doing since the jump, and it's something that I would never stop doing on this channel. Just being honest with my opinions on things, no matter how cheap it is, no matter how expensive it is. I'll let you know if I think a cheap fragrance sucks, and I'll also let you know if I think a cheap fragrance is great. All right, so there it is. Wear what makes you happy. Don't care too much about status symbol with these things, because I promise you the people around you, they don't really care that much. And they're not going to be like, what? They're not going to be like on their knees. It's kind of the equivalent of like when guys like rev their car engines because they think people are impressed, but in actuality, everyone's like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? That's what comes to my mind. Just making that correlation with y'all. But anyways, hope you have a great day. Let me know in the comment section below what cheapy you wear, and then also what luxury fragrance you wear, just so kind of people have a little bit of options if they're scrolling through the comment section to say, okay, you know what, this seems like a good bang for your buck, let me look it up. So help the people out down below. All right, I hope you all have a great day. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.